Yo, what's happening here? Twin B off of One Extra Breakfast here with someone who wanted to be funny as a job when he was younger, and he made it happen. How? Because he did amazing things like write Superbad. You've seen him in some incredible films like Knocked Up and Bad Neighbours 2.
Yes.
The follow-up to Neighbours starring Seth, yourself, obviously, Rose Byrne, Selena Gomez is in it, Lisa Kudrow, Chloe Moretz is in it as well. Amazing cast.
Yeah, they're all really amazingly funny people.
Yeah, and not cheap.
No, not
proper.
cheap people. It's a sequel.
And that's the thing, sequels aren't big with the films that you make.
I've never made a sequel before.
Yeah.
No, this was the first time where we thought that it seemed kind of like we had an idea that just seemed very kind of like the logical next step in the story, and it didn't seem to like undervalue the first movie, and it seemed like it was an idea that in and of itself could exist as a movie, which is good. Yeah. And so, it's the first time when we actually got excited about the idea of making a sequel for a movie.
And to be fair, it's good enough as a standalone, to be honest. Like you said, they don't really affect each other. It's not one of those ones you have to see the first.
No, not at all.
You'll be laughing at both.
Yeah, I think like once we came up with the idea of the sorority and the idea that we're having a second kid and we're afraid our daughter's going to hate us one day, it seemed like they were ideas, that kind of supported a movie in and of itself.
I've got to say, how your daughter was made, I mean, all I'm saying is not on top ever because of that. That's all I'm going to say. Not on top ever after that.
That will scar you.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
That was gross for me.
It was very traumatic. So Selena Gomez just pops up all smiley and stays smiley throughout the film. What was she like to work with?
She's great. She's incredibly nice and very hard worker. And I'd met her a few times, and that's actually why we thought to ask her to be in the movie, is that she just seemed like a very cool, kind of down to earth, and she's very funny. She's a very good actor. Yeah, James Franco didn't pop up. No, he didn't. We have Dave Franco. We have his brother Dave in the movie, though.
Oh, is that his brother?
Yeah, Dave.
There always has to be. What is this thing with you and James Franco?
I only work with a Franco. I need a Franco in my movies at all times. I just love those Francos. I just made another movie with James Franco over the winter, actually. We just really work together well. I mean, when you find people you work well with and that, they have the same taste as you and the same kind of, ethic as you when it comes to work, and you just personally like them a lot, you try to keep working with those people.
Fair enough. Makes life easy,
yeah.
Innit? Now, one of your films last year nearly started a world war.
It sure did.
It's mad. How do you feel towards that whole film and situation now? The interview.
It was a real bummer, honestly. It was incredibly upsetting. I mean, we made, we knew the movie was going to be controversial, but we didn't obviously think it would go to the place that it went. And the way that people dealt with it was very disappointing. The fact that theaters were so quick to pull it, the fact that the studio, honestly, at the time was not very supportive of it or the content in it. There was just a lot of things that were not that, and then on top of that, it just wasn't received incredibly well, probably because of how controversial it was, and just the whole kind of air surrounding it.
I mean, do you think that whole fuss helped it in a way?
No, it would have been infinitely better if none of that happened.
If it wasn't as much drama.
Yeah, like it was. Like, they do tracking and all that stuff. Like, it was going to be a very successful movie. And because it wasn't in theaters, it was, it was incredibly successful online and in the way it was released. But it made, on a financial level, it made way less money than it would have if it came out in theaters. And I think just like I didn't like being the center of like an international news story, basically.
Nearly starting a war.
I just didn't like it. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. Like it was not fun for me. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for coming in today, Seth Rogen.
Thank you.
Please go and see Bad Neighbours 2. It is so funny. And just try and keep whatever's in your stomach after the first scene. That's what I'm going to say.